Boston Celtics lose to the Memphis Grizzlies, and they beat the Milwaukee Bucks. How about a podcast about both of those games right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast?
Yup. Beantown, be ever ready. Recognize the city of champs. Back to back, if I say it, it's stamp. Locked on number 19, the best one, the next one. Juice loose in your pool now for the next run. It's the C's, who else could it be? What they gon' say now? Screaming like JT, Karalis, recap the madness. Every game, every practice. Best daily pod, no cap like Brad Beckett. Clutch like Jrue to KP, tap in daily. Primetime dapping D White on the sideline. Raining J's, how it started, raising banners, how we finish. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners. B.
Podcast. Whoops, there we go. Welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast. Yeah, technical difficulties all weekend long, but I'm here. I apologize. I had a podcast. I recorded a podcast. It was done after Celtics Bucks. It was a half hour long. It was brilliant. It was the best podcast I ever did, and the audio was unusable, so I could not release it. I apologize. I know I say I'm here for you every Monday through Friday and bonus podcasts on the weekend. Technically, I did one. I just didn't release it. But here I am. I'll talk about Celtics losing to the Memphis Grizzlies on Saturday, and I'll talk about them quickly, about them beating the Milwaukee Bucks on Friday. The Celtics go 4-2 on their 6-game and 9-night swing. So not bad. I'll take it. So first of all, welcome aboard. I'm John Karalis. I'm a beat writer covering the Boston Celtics. I've been covering the Celtics for about 20 years. I'm doing it right now for Boston Sports Journal. And I've also written the book Built Different. Go to johnkaralis.com and you can get this book signed, personalized, give it as a gift. $30 delivered to your door anywhere in the United States. So let's start with this. First of all, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you're new watching on YouTube, welcome aboard. Thank you. Join the everydayers, people with me Monday through Friday. Get into that comment section. Let me know what you're thinking about both games. We're gonna work our way backwards because this one's fresh in my mind. Celtics losing to the Memphis Grizzlies 127-121. Two things stand out the most to me. And I'm not going way too deep into this game, especially because they out of gas. Like they looked like a team that was on game 6 in 9 nights. And maybe some people want to say that's an excuse. I don't care. The schedule is what it is. And they had 2 back-to-backs this week. This one was tough. Frankly, I thought this game went better than I expected. I thought this game was going to go a lot worse. I thought the Celtics were going to end up losing this thing by double digits. I thought that this was going to be just a fourth quarter out of gas runaway. You remember last season when the Celtics got demolished by the Milwaukee Bucks? I didn't think it was going to go that poorly, but I did think it was going to be one of those. They put up a fight for a certain amount of time, and then it just the legs go out from underneath them, and it all falls apart. They didn't. They fought in this one. So I am as impressed by their fight in this game as I would be in some wins. So I'm not like looking at this loss as anything as a big deal. In fact, I frankly have gotten past looking at Celtics losses this season as a big deal, unless they are so egregiously bad, and they haven't been. They've had a few games where they've tried to outshoot opponents, and you know that's worked for a lot of the season. This one was they tried. I think they were picking some spots. Their second quarter was terrible. They made up for it in the third quarter. Like seriously, almost exactly. So the Grizzlies won the first quarter by 4. They won the second quarter 35-27. The Celtics won the third quarter 35-28. So they were right there. Kristaps Porzingis in the third quarter came alive a little bit. He left with a sprained ankle right before halftime, came back. He says he's fine. In fact, he was more pissed off than anything than he got that he hurt the ankle. The fourth quarter was more Peyton Pritchard. Pritchard got a lot more run in the second half because of the way the Memphis Grizzlies were playing defense. And this was the other takeaway here, that everybody saw it. It wasn't that, doesn't take a genius to figure it out. That's why I am able to figure it out. They were leaving Jrue Holiday open. They were packing the paint. They put Jaren Jackson on Holiday. They were daring him to shoot, and he shot, and he didn't hit a lot of shots. For a while there in the first quarter, I thought this is not going to go well for them. They're daring the guy who was last season's best corner three-point shooter to take three pointers from the corner, which was mind-blowing. And in fact, after the game, Joe Mazzulla said, "That's a bold strategy." And it was like, that is, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that it worked. I know Jrue is having a tough start to the season shooting wise, but that's not something that's going to last. I just don't think that that's something that's going to be that big of a problem, or as big of a problem as it is now moving forward. So they dared him to shoot. He hasn't shot this much in almost 2 full years, and he's never shot 17 3-pointers. The most he's ever shot was 13. He was 4 of 17 from 3. Most of those were open. He had a couple of the Jrue Holiday 3, the ones that are like, that was gutsy. That one had a little spice to it, but okay. So he takes a couple of those. Most of them were the catch and shoot corner 3 open shots that he should be taking. If you get 17 of those and they're open, you've got to keep taking them. And after the game, he was completely unbothered. He was like kind of laughing. He even said that it was actually kind of fun. I kind of liked it. And it kind of goes back to the quote from Porzingis. I think it was after the Pistons game where he was like, yeah, I'm not like chilling out after, during these games being like, oh, great, I don't have to do as much work. So he said, I want to shoot like 40 shots. Everybody wants to shoot 40 shots. We're competitors. We all want to shoot a lot. So Holiday was like, yeah, this was kind of cool. I got to shoot a lot. And, it just didn't fall. Like, he's been around the block. He's just as likely when the Celtics play the Pistons on Thursday. If he were to take 17, those same 17 3-pointers, he's just as likely to go 10 for 17 as he is to go 4 for 17 again. So nobody is worried. He is certainly not worried. And interestingly, after the game, Joe Mazzulla said, I'm glad that they did this. This is a gift. He literally called it a gift, because teams are going to have to try to beat the Celtics 4 times in a series. And now they have seen hey, what if we leave Jrue Holiday open? What if we dare this guy to shoot? He's having a little bit of a tough start to the season. So if Holiday is in a little bit of a slump come playoff time, they might see this again. And because Memphis showed it to them, now you got some film. And Mazzulla loves situations like this. Like, not that he loves to lose, but he loves when teams do something different and it's a learning opportunity. This loss I don't think this one bothers him quite like other losses. Sometimes you lose a game and you're like, yeah, we didn't have it. And like I said, I didn't expect the Celtics to have it. They had it more than I thought they would. But part of the strategy that Memphis employed here was it took the ball out of Jaylen Brown's hands and out of Jayson Tatum's hands early in the game, especially Jaylen Brown. Jaylen was passing a lot. They were packing the paint, and it's smart. Like, Taylor Jenkins is a really smart coach. He knows the Celtics' plan is when they get into the paint and you show some resistance, they will kick. So get it out of Brown's hands, get it out of Tatum's hands. We're not going to let those guys beat us. Let's test the limits of Jrue Holiday's shooting, slump. Is that the best? Is it a slump to start the season? Whatever it is, however you want to characterize it, they tested the limits about it, and it worked. Congratulations to them. But now teams are going to have to beat the Celtics 4 times in a series. Is that going to work 4 times in a series? No. And the next time the Celtics see it, they feel good about, like, okay, we know what we can do and how we can combat it. So Holiday, not the best game. Great bounce back game from Peyton Pritchard, though. 22 points, 7 of 12 shooting, 6 of 11 from 3, 30 minutes from him. Probably could have played him more, should have played him more. And they did pivot to Pritchard late in the game, and that's why he was in there. But that does create other kind of issues defensively. So as much as I'm not harping on Pritchard's defense, but when there's a team with length, and I'll touch on that in the Bucks, my quick Bucks recap, that Pritchard was 0 for 3 in that game. And I think some of it was, facing the Bucks length. He just didn't get the same opportunities that he got. So Jaylen Brown, like I said, he didn't take a shot until early in the second quarter. He ended up 22 points, 6 assists, but 5 turnovers, sloppy with the ball. And he said it after the game. He's like, I was too sloppy. I can't be that sloppy. He took it on himself. So good for him for seeing that. Jayson Tatum did finish with 17 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists, or an assist shy of a triple-double, but shot horribly. 6 of 21, 1 of 10. He definitely looked like a guy who was gassed. The Celtics looked just gassed. Kristaps Porzingis had big stretches of not playing well, and then he had stretches where he hit a few shots. So honestly, even with all of this stuff that I'm saying, even with all of everything that I just said, the Celtics lose this game by 6. They missed 9 free throws. Now, no team's going to shoot 100%, but you could have hit 6 more free throws to send this to overtime. Of course, would they have won in overtime the way I've just been talking about their legs? Probably not. But if you hit those 6 free throws, the dynamics of the game changes. Maybe Memphis does something a little bit different and they don't hit one of these shots. Anyway, whole sliding doors thing, it's not a big deal. But that stands out where the Celtics, on a night where they couldn't hit anything, struggled from the line as well. And maybe that's a sign of tired legs. When I look at this box score, I see a bunch of stuff that tells me the Celtics should have won this game. They shot 105 shots. 105 shots. I love it. I love that volume. 105 shots. The Celtics on any other night are going to shoot better than 40%. There's just no, when you get up 105 shots to the other team's 94, you should be hitting the kind of volume necessary to win that game. They put up 63 pointers and they shot 30%. They just didn't win that math by enough. The Grizzlies, not a great 3-point shooting team, hit 15 of 33. The John Morant hit his first 4 from 3. He's a 26% 3-point shooter. So some of that variance kind of got them. But the big thing is that the Celtics, again, tired. Tons of transition points. They lost that one 22-4 fast break points. So the Celtics ultimately, I'm chalking this up. I'm upbeat about this game because sometimes it's about the process. It's about the fight, and they showed a ton of fight in this game, a ton of it. So congrats to the Grizzlies. Like, the Grizzlies played great. John Morant played great. That dunk, that baseline dunk, the pump reverse. Oh my God. They played great. Jaren Jackson played great in the fourth quarter. The Memphis Grizzlies came into Boston. They beat the Celtics. Tired legs or not, they came in, they had a game plan, they executed, they won. Good for them. They're second in the West. They have confidence that they can come into Boston and win. Very important win from them. None of this is meant to take away from anything that the Grizzlies did. All kudos to them, except for Marcus Smart, who came in. He was nursing an ankle injury. The whole Marcus Smart returning to Boston thing has been a dud from the beginning. He was hurt last year. They did play the tribute video last season, and that was a nice moment, but we just barely ever get to talk to Marcus Smart. He talked that shoot around before the game, didn't say a ton, and that's it. He came in, he shot 1 for 11, 1 for 6 from 3, was a -10, played 19 minutes. Again, hampered by the ankle, but he wanted to play. The most we got out of him was a flop attempt on Jayson Tatum. That's about it. And he did play some pretty good defense on Kristaps Porzingis, which kind of funny from the other side. We look at it and we're like, I remember how many times when he was at Dallas and Marcus Smart, we were like, who cares about Porzingis, man? We got Marcus Smart. He's going to go out there and guard Porzingis, no problem. And he did. We saw a little bit of that in this game, and it was like, oh, man, this matchup is not quite as fun from the other side of that coin. So, but the whole return was a little bit of a dud. I did get to see him before the game. He had his baby, super cute baby. So congrats to Marcus Smart on the baby. That kid is super cute. Another really cute moment. We talk about reunions. Xavier McDaniel getting to see all of his old Grizzlies teammates was that was as, I think, emotional a reunion as Marcus Smart. It was kind of cute. I was walking out of the Celtics locker room and back down here to do my work, and Jaren Jackson Jr. comes out of the locker room ahead of me, the Grizzlies locker room ahead of me, and Xavier Tillman's, that's how old I am. I said Xavier McDaniels. Jesus. Xavier Tillman's kid. That's going to crack me up for a while. Look up and they say, JJ, and they run over to him and they kind of hug his legs. It was such a super cute moment. Oh my God. Even my cold black heart melted at that moment. So that's the Grizzlies game. I don't think there's really much deeper to go into that. The Celtics, 6 games in 9 nights. It's over. They went 4-2. Sign me up for that. And in that kind of stretch with 2 back-to-backs, 3 games in 4 nights, and then a day off, and another 3 games in 4. That's just no. Ugh. I hate that stretch. 4-2, good. I would have taken 3-3. Celtics come out kind of, I think, looking good. So that comes after this Celtics win over the Milwaukee Bucks. A few thoughts on that here. I thought that was a real poised win. That was a win where the Celtics, they fought. They didn't have Porzingis. They didn't have their best. They didn't have their best in that game, but they kept on fighting. And Jayson Tatum had a fourth quarter that was just sublime. That fourth quarter from Tatum is MVP level Jayson Tatum. He and the Celtics just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And, Dame had a big stretch of hitting shots. Giannis was doing what he did. The Celtics were 0 for 12 in the second quarter of that game from 3. And they just kept on hanging around. Again, the fight, the Celtics between that game and this Memphis game, considering the circumstances, considering the situation, a good team like Boston, especially in this Memphis game, would be very easily, convinced. Normally, we've seen it. They go, who cares about this? We got 4 days off coming up. We're going to take this one off. It's like the Friday before vacation. How much work do you do on the Friday before vacation? How much time do you spend tooling around the internet on that Friday before vacation? Right? Come on. And so the Celtics very easily could have done that. They've got Sunday off, Monday off, Tuesday off. They're taking some really necessary time off to rest. Derek White with the sprained foot. Sam Hauser left this Memphis game with a groin tightness or adductor tightness. I guess we can't call it a groin anymore. I don't know. But he left the game. Porzingis sprained his ankle early, in the second quarter, and he, can use that rest. Everybody's got little nagging things. Jrue Holiday with the knee thing. He admitted that was something that has been building up, probably because long playoff run, Summer Olympics, and this that's something that's kind of playing into everything. So taking this time off is very important, but the Celtics still, even with all of that, they fight. So that is really impressive to me, that they just aren't punting games. They aren't sitting there saying it's December. It's not like it's the cup. There's no reason for the NBA to even care. And they could have punted this game no issues whatsoever. And they didn't. They could have folded in the second quarter against the Milwaukee Bucks. They've already beaten them twice. They got a tiebreaker if it ever comes down to that, as unlikely as that may be. They have it, but no, they fought. They never got down by more than 5 or 6 against the Bucks, and they just kept on coming until fourth quarter, 16-6 close to the game. That type of stuff is super important. Now, Holiday actually played well in that game. Al Horford hit some big threes, playing great defense. Horford had some switches onto Chris Middleton and handled it. He had that block on Chris Middleton. The defense overall was really, really good. Jayson Tatum, shout out to Jayson Tatum for switching and picking up Damian Lillard and late in the game and playing great defense. Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown picking up Damian Lillard full court. He was getting oohs and ahs for his defense, which you don't normally see, but he got it here. The defense was great. Al Horford with some, great individual defense on Giannis Antetokounmpo. He remains at almost 40 years old, probably the best defender of Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then he hits the three. Al's aggressiveness, taking those 3-point shots, and his willingness to take them early in the shot clock. Like he's not working the ball around anyway. He's right in there with Mazzulla ball. That was incredible. So all of those games were just great performances all around. I put in this graphic here that Derek White and Peyton Pritchard both struggled. But that's okay. Derek White did other things in that game. Derek White did other things in this game as well. Pritchard, like I said, with 0 for 3. It's not like it was a horrible game, but 0 for 3 in that game. But he bounced back in this one. When I say that he had 23, 22 in this game. But I thought the Milwaukee game was just a championship level win. That was a win that a team that has won it all knows how to win. Last point I'm going to make, why it's a championship win against Milwaukee. Late in the game, was 40 or 50 seconds left. Celtics have this acute awareness of how much time there is in a game, how much time they have in a possession. They just know they have this great awareness, where this was the Jrue Holiday floater, where he gets the rebound, brings it up, gets it to Jayson Tatum. They were hunting the Brook Lopez mismatch. Holiday sets the pick for Tatum. Tatum gets that mismatch. Time is ticking down. With like 3 seconds left, Tatum throws it over to Holiday, who gets the ball with like 2 seconds left. Does he shoot it? No, he doesn't shoot it. Little head and shoulder fake, dribble. He knows exactly how much time he has left. I looked at the clock. The ball clears his fingertips at 0.6. It goes through the rim after the buzzer sounds. They were up 3 at the time, and Milwaukee just needed to stop. Boston bled every last second off the shot clock, hit that shot, and then up 5 with 24 or so seconds to go, leaving Milwaukee with nothing but desperation. The Celtics did a great job. And so great win against Milwaukee, and great effort against Memphis. Like I said, I come out of this weekend feeling upbeat about the Celtics still. Look, they're second place, and they are only couple of games out of first place. I don't even care about that. They're still the best team in the NBA to me. I still think they're better than the Cavs. I don't think that's going out on a limb to say that. So much needed rest. Oh my God, I'm so happy that these guys got some rest. How much are they looking forward to this rest? I can tell you. Normally we're waiting a long time for them to come out of the locker room and talk. Right? They're getting ready. They're getting their treatment and all of that stuff. In this game, after we got into the locker room, it was, here's Kristaps Porzingis, here's Peyton Pritchard, here's Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown is ready. We normally wait an hour plus for all of the guys to go through their stuff and us to get their post-game reactions. These guys were all done within like maybe not even half an hour, less than half an hour. It was just rapid fire. Everybody wanted to get the hell out of here, take this day off. I wouldn't be surprised if you see pictures of some dude on a beach. This is like a mini, I keep saying, this is like the NBA Cup break. We have the All-Star break. This is the NBA Cup break. The guys should probably fly out of here on Sunday, go down to like Puerto Rico or the Bahamas, take that quick trip, do Sunday night, Monday, go enjoy the beach for 2 days, come back on Tuesday, get your treatment, practice on Wednesday, play this game against the Pistons Thursday. Seriously, go enjoy yourself, take a break, clear your heads, get off your feet, and then come back on Tuesday ready to go shoot and watch some film and do all of that stuff. I would tell them to go do that. Just get the hell out of Boston for a couple of days, go someplace warm, come back, and we'll pick it up with the Pistons on Thursday. Sorry again for the whole podcast thing yesterday. Believe me, no one was more upset about that than me. I pride myself on being here when I say I'm going to be here. I hate when technical issues prevent me from being here. So thank you for understanding, and hope this makes up for it. So bonus podcast here. Normally it's a podcast every time they play, Monday through Friday. How about a mailbag tomorrow? So let's do the Monday mailbag for you. It's johnkaralis.com/mailbag. Go to my website, johnkaralis.com/mailbag. Get your questions in. I'll answer a bunch of them, and we'll just have some fun this week talking about the Celtics. I got a few things cooking, so we'll talk about it all. I appreciate you listening, subscribing wherever you get your podcasts, and then getting into that YouTube page, watching the show, and getting to the comment section, because it's a lot of fun over there. And then I would love it if you shared the podcast and told everybody to listen to and watch the Locked On Celtics podcast here in the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.